Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. It is Europa League football tonight on the channel as we see Greek double winners from last season, AEK Athens, taking on first-time European side Brighton as they face each other in a game where the qualification could be clinched for the Seagulls if a win is secured. AEK Athens currently have 4 points after 4 games in the group stage, with 3 of the points coming in their opener at the Amex to the away side tonight. Since then, only a draw at home to Ajax has been managed, with back-to-back defeats to Marseille, which puts them in 3rd place in the group. For Brighton, they sit a point behind the leaders Marseille after back-to-back wins against Ajax, mean they have 7 points from their opening 4 games. They come into this game off the back of a hard-fought 3 points against Forest on Saturday, which was their first win in the Premier League since late September. AEK Athens currently have the longest winless run in the Europa League at home, with 0 wins in their last 14, which is a competition record. Can Brighton and Roberto De Zerbi take advantage of this poor form from AEK Athens and guide themselves into the knockout stages of the Europa League? It should be a really good game. Obviously, the big shock of this group was Brighton falling on the first game against AEK Athens at home. It was a 3-2 win for the Greek side, and it's been an uphill battle since for Brighton to get back on track in this group, but they've done it really well. Got a really good point away at Marseille after being 2-0 down in the first half, and then went to Ajax in the most recent game, but then also beat them as well at home in the 3rd game in the group to get 6 points from 6 against the Dutch side. Obviously, very poor form they were in, but they still had to go and get those points, and it puts them in a great position where they can win tonight. They will go through and they will qualify for the knockout stages of the Europa League, which will be a huge success for Brighton and Roberto De Zerbi. But it will not be easy tonight. Yes, obviously I've just said that stat of AEK Athens not winning in any of their last 14 games at home in the Europa League. They've drawn 6 and lost 8. You know, that run will eventually end at some point, and Brighton just don't want it to end tonight. They want to continue that poor run for AEK Athens, get them another loss, get them another game without a win at home in the Europa League. But it'll be a cagey atmosphere. The Brighton players came out just before for their warm-ups, and they were met by a lot of whistling, a lot of booing, and every time they're on the ball, they'll probably be met by that as well, because obviously the AEK Athens fans will know for sure that their side need to win tonight. If they beat Brighton tonight, Brighton and AEK Athens will be level on points going into the last game, where Marseille will go to the Amex to play Brighton on the last game, and AEK Athens will travel to Ajax on the last game. So if there's a win for the Greek side, it will go to the last game where both teams play different opposition, both at home. So that'll be very interesting. So it is a game where if Brighton win, it just takes all the pressure off and the job's already done. Yes, it's not the end of the world if they lose tonight. They are still obviously well within the chance of qualifying, as it will go down to the last game. But they don't want that. They'll want to get it done as soon as possible, and tonight is the chance they have to get qualified, get the win, and then really focus on the Premier League, because they have fell short a little bit in the Premier League recently. They had gone 0 wins in their last 6 in the Premier League before the weekend, where they drew 4 and lost to Aston Villa and Manchester City. So that's how important the win was, and you might have seen as well after that 3-2 win at the weekend at Forest, some of the celebrations that took place after the game as well were were very passionate, because it was a hard-fought game. Obviously, Dunk red card as well, the 73rd minute, but they were able to hang on. So if they can win tonight, it's just a box ticked off. They can just park the Europa League for a few months, just focus on the Premier League, starting to get back on form. 8th in the Premier League at the minute, 22 points they're on, 6 wins from 13. And like I say, that win against Forest was their first after 6 without a win in the Premier League. They hadn't been in great form in the Premier League, but obviously that is also due to the fact they have got to juggle both Europa League and Premier League. It's difficult, but they are still well within it for the Europa League to qualify. A win tonight would do it, and also in the Premier League they are quite close to the likes of Newcastle and Manchester United and Tottenham, who are just outside the top 4. They've not been, they're not too far away. They're still in touching distance, but any more losses and any more drop points, that will not do them any favours, because within those draws, they picked up recently in the Premier League, one of them at home to Sheffield United. That is a game that Brighton have just got to be winning. They cannot be dropping points at home to Sheffield United. But that will be in the past now. They're all going to look forward. And both sets of players are in the tunnel here at the Hagia Sophia Stadium. Opened in September of 2022. It holds 32,500 people. And we will go through both lineups right now, as we'll start with the home side. And it's Sikan Stankovic in goal. The Austrian goalkeeper, 31 years of age, was sent off in Game 3 against Marseille. Back four of Lazaros Rota, who was signed 2 years ago from Fortuna Sittard. Two centre-halves is Domagoj Vida, the experienced Croatian centre-half, and he'll play alongside Harold Makudi, who was once on loan at Middlesbrough back in 2020, and left-back is Iranian Haj Safi. He is the captain of his national team. He has played 125 times for Iran. And then it is going to be a diamond formation. It looks like it could also change. We'll have to wait and see. But on the right of the diamond is going to be Nordin Amrabat, formerly of Watford for a couple of years and joined in the August of 2021 from Al Nassr. On the left is going to be Mijat Gacinovic, who is the Serbian midfielder. He was at Eintracht Frankfurt for 5 years, where in 2018 he won the German Cup against Bayern Munich in the final and scored the third goal in that 3-1 win for Frankfurt against Bayern that night. And then the two in midfield is going to be Damian Szymanski, who scored against England 2 years ago in World Cup qualifying in a 1-1 draw. And just ahead of him is going to be Orbelin Pineda, the Mexican, signed in the summer from Celta Vigo after he spent last season on loan at AEK Athens. And then two further forward up front is going to be Petros Mantalos, who has got the 1 goal only so far this season, and that came in the Greek Super League, but 2 starts in his last 2 in the Europa League, and they both came against Marseille. And alongside him, got the winner at the weekend in their 1-0 win in the league, and it's Steven Zuba, Swiss international forward. He's making his 90th appearance tonight for the Greek side, and the bench can be seen just below that starting 11 on the left-hand side. And for Brighton, they have made just 3 changes from the weekend, 5 changes since their last lineup against AEK Athens, and in goal is going to be Bart Verbruggen, who is got a contract here till 2028, and he's making only his second appearance in the Europa League, and his other one came away at Ajax. It looks like it's going to be a back four of Pascal Gross, Lewis Dunk, who was sent off for the weekend, Igor and Joel Veltman, 2 holding midfielders of Jack Hinshelwood, who makes only his 4th appearance of the season in the first team. It's his first in the Europa League after sitting on the bench for the previous 4. He'll play alongside Billy Gilmore, once a Champions League winner himself. He was on the bench for the final against Manchester City back in 2021, and then 3 behind the striker. On the right is going to be Simon Adingra, who's got the 1 goal and 2 assists in his last 2 games in the Europa League. They both came home and away to Ajax. On the left, past fit after missing the weekend, is Kaoru Mitoma. He's got 3 goals so far this season in the Premier League and none yet in the Europa League, but he has got 2 assists in Europe so far. Just behind the striker is going to be number 9 and making his 19th appearance in all competitions for the season, and that is going to be João Pedro. He's got the 8 goals so far this season for his new team, and 5 of them have come from 12 yards out from that penalty spot. And leading the line up front is number 28, Evan Ferguson, was 19 last month in October. He's got these 6 goals in the Premier League. He's yet to score in the Europa League. It's his first start tonight in Europe, and with not many attacking options, he's got to be on it tonight. Evan Ferguson, as the likes of Danny Welbeck is out injured. Solly March is out as well, and Ciso as well, Van Hecker, Lamptey, Webster. That's why there's a lot of youngsters, as you can see below, on that bench for Brighton. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 first team regulars on the bench. The likes of Jason Steele, James Milner, Carlos Baleba, Mahmoud Dahoud, and Facundo Buonanotte. Been filled by a lot of youngsters tonight due to so many injuries in their first team Brighton. That's also coincided with their poor form recently in the last few months. It's not all just because they've been playing in Europe. They've also been playing in Europe and have had a lot of injuries, hence why their form hasn't been too great recently, Brighton. But tonight they have got a chance to win and go through to the next round of the Europa League in their first ever European adventure. Tonight's referee, Sandro Scherer, 35-year-old Swiss referee. And we will be getting underway very, very shortly. I think there's just a pause for the moment. He's just getting some communication, the referee, from his earpiece. Not quite sure what the issue is. And we are ready to get underway. It'll be Brighton kicking off, kicking left to right. AEK Athens right to left here, as it is with Brighton at left back. And it looks like it's going to be Hinshelwood at left back tonight. So my lineup sheet is already wrong. It's going to be Hinshelwood at left back and Pascal Gross in the midfield. I've previously seen Pascal Gross play at full back. That's why I put him there. But it's going to be Veltman at right back, Hinshelwood at left back, and Gross in the midfield. There's Brighton on the ball early with Dunk playing out to the right-hand side here to Adingra, who will get there and keep it in. And it's gone off an AEK Athens man. And it'll be a throw-in for Brighton, midway inside their own half. Thank you to everyone who's here. If you could like and subscribe, that'd be absolutely fantastic. As we are underway in Athens with Veltman on the ball at right back. Goes back into the defensive third for Brighton here with Lewis Dunk, the captain. Picked up his 10th red card for Brighton at the weekend. Been at the club now since the under-12s level. Joined back in 2003. And here he is on the ball on the edge of the 18-yard box. Gilmore to the right. It's lost out to Gross, but he will drop to Adingra. Midway side his own half, and he'll drive forward here. Adingra into the centre circle. Playing out to the left here to Hinshelwood. Down the line to Matoma. Just inside the AEK Athens half on the far side. He's one-on-one here with Rotter. The right back for AEK Athens tonight. Matoma ball through in the box. Ferguson gets there. Right-footed strike deflects back to the Irishman, who strikes a second time. And it deflects wide for a corner. Great start for Brighton. 90 seconds in. They've had all of the ball and they've created the first chance. It was a good dribble from Adingra to feed it then out to the left-hand side to Matoma, who played it through to Evan Ferguson in the box, whose first shot was saved, and then the second one was blocked by centre-back Vida. But already a sniff at goal for Evan Ferguson. As they've got a corner on the far side here, it'll be an in-swinger from Pascal Gross, now a German international. As Pascal Gross, it'll be a deep one towards Lewis Dunk, who will win the header across. Oh, it's been missed by Ferguson a couple of yards out, and he'll go straight through for a goal kick. It's a terrific ball in by Pascal Gross to find Dunk at the far post, whose header was even better. Right across goal from Dunk, and it should have been met by Ferguson, but he just missed out. See how close he was here. Good swinging ball in. Too tight of an angle for Dunk to really shoot, so got it across, and Ferguson was inches away. As it will be AEK Athens to play from the back here, and it's with left back Haj Safi. He goes into his 18-yard box. His restart with their goalkeeper Stankovic. It's now Vida going across to his centre-back partner Makudi, formerly of Middlesbrough, and a loan spell back in 2020. Goes to his goalkeeper here again, Stankovic, who's signed here 2 years ago to AEK Athens. It's his first ever club away from his homeland of Austria. As they glide a ball forward, cut out on halfway there by Hinshelwood. Good reading of the game by the 18-year-old Brighton left back tonight. Need to keep his stick a bit better there, AEK Athens. Can't be giving it away so easily. As it's Igor for Brighton, signed in the summer from Fiorentina, where he reached the Conference League final last season with the Italian club, where they were beaten in the last minute by West Ham United. As he'll drive forward towards halfway, forward to João Pedro, flicks it in behind, looking for Ferguson, cut out by Vida. It's now Amrabat on the right-hand side for AEK Athens, midway side his own half. It was back 10 yards to Rotter, the right back, and to Vida. Forward into the midfield to Pineda, takes it on the turn nicely, away from Pascal Gross, plays it into the path of Haj Safi. He's got forward from full-back here. Inside the Brighton half, he's going to go for an early cross. It's cut out on the edge of the box by Dunk, but falls straight back to Zuba. Wants a 1-2, plays the 1-2 and has a strike. There was a flag up as he completed the 1-2 with AEK Athens number 20, Mantalos, but he got a shot away and it was saved comfortably by Bart Verbruggen for Brighton. But a little bit of a glimpse of what they can do. Poor clearance there from Dunk. Fell straight to the edge of the box to Zuba, who tried the 1-2 with Mantalos, and it would have been a close call if he was offside, but he got the shots away. The flag went up anyway, and is back in Brighton possession just over 4 minutes in. Remains 0-0. Brighton have had the only chance of the game. They've had 2 chances. Ferguson had 2 strikes at goal, which was saved and blocked, and then Dunk's header across goal was just missed by Ferguson as he goes for an audacious switch out to the left-hand side where Matoma will chase it into the 18-yard box, but it's well headed back by right-back Rotter to his goalkeeper, Sikan Stankovic, who will roll it to the left centre half here. Makudi back onto the 6-yard line with the goalkeeper Stankovic. Here's Domagoj Vida. who was a key part of Croatia's run to the World Cup final back in 2018. 34 years of age now, the centre-half, as it's been played out. It's now back in the centre of the field here with Szymanski. Out to the right on halfway to Rota, the right-back. Inside to Amrabat. Been pressured here by Gilmour, so been forced to go backwards here, back into his own half with Vida. Now Szymanski, the Polish international central midfielder, played at centre-back in the reverse game at the Amex, but is usually and primarily a midfielder. As Hajsafi will dribble down the left-hand side for AEK Athens. Been played back here to their number 8, Gacinovic. Do apologise for the noise. Amrabat charged down the right into the final third. Try to go on the inside of Hinshelwood. Been tackled the first time. Ball drops back to Amrabat. Amrabat tries to drive on the inside. He's been tackled there by Hinshelwood, and then he pulls down the youngster. And it'll be a free kick for Brighton. Midway side his own half here is Brazilian centre-back Igor. It's now Dunk driving forward. Zuba comes to close him down, but he released it quickly to Dingra. And a first-time ball down the right-hand side. If that had come off, they would have been in behind. Pascal Gross was making the run forward. But the pass from Adingra was just misplaced. And there is the head coach for AEK Athens, Matthias Almeida, who joined at the start of last season and then won AEK Athens the league title and the cup as well. Did the double last season, the Greek side, as they've gone back to their goalkeeper. Stankovic has just avoided the goal. Vida played it back to him. Very heavy ball. It was aiming towards the bottom left corner and the goalkeeper just about kept it off the line. And Brighton have got a throw-in which they tried to take quickly, but they've actually been given a corner instead. Vida with a heavy back pass. Stankovic got there and his touch just went across the byline and it's gone for a corner and not a throw-in. So it's their second corner of the night for Brighton on the far side. Presuming it'll be the right foot of Pascal Gross to take again, and it will be. Heart in the mouth stuff there from Domagoj Vida, the AEK Athens centre-half. As it will be the German to put this in-swinging cross in. Right arm raised, ball in, deep one again, far post. He'll aim for Dunk, but that one's overhit this time, and he'll run straight through for a goal kick. As AEK Athens just need to breathe a little bit after that. Nearly an own goal from the Croatian centre-half, but it's been a very solid start for Brighton, whose last game in the Europa League was the 2-0 away win against Ajax. They also beat them 2-0 at home as well. Stankovic, the goalkeeper, clips out to the right-hand side to right-back Rota, who can't keep it in midway side his own half. Throwing on the far side for Brighton, winning the ball high. And it'll be left for Hinshelwood to take this throw-in. Brighton's number 41, playing left-back today. Throws it into Matoma, gets the return, plays a ball around the corner, finds João Pedro, who is tackled there by Makudi. And he's down the right-hand side now for AEK Athens with Amrabat, inside to Rota. Just clipped from behind there by Pedro. Would be a free kick for the home side. Just inside their own half there. And they've played it short to Szymanski. And now with left centre-half Makudi. Forward to Pineda. Getting on the ball. The Mexican. Not been on the ball too often in the opening 8.5 minutes, but they've worked out to the right-hand side. Halfway line with Amrabat. Brother of Sofian Amrabat, who's at Manchester United, as he tries a ball around the corner and in behind there, but it's been caught by Brighton's goalkeeper in a full orange strip tonight. But Bart Verbruggen, who's played 4 times now for his country in October and November of this year, keeping 3 clean sheets in those 4. Playing ahead of Jason Steele tonight as Igor, the centre-half. High ball over the top, brought down by Matoma. Flag stays down, out to the right-hand side into Adingra in the final third. Enters the 18-yard box, onto his left foot. Chops back onto his right and has a strike towards the near post. Lifts it over the crossbar. Not a bad bit of play there from Simon Adingra, the Ivorian winger. It was a good ball there from Igor to find Matoma, who'd just come central on the pitch, moving away from his left wing position. And then finding Adingra, who went on the inside, then back on the outside, taking on Haj Safi. But eventually his shot went over the crossbar. Did score Adingra in their last game. in their last two games against in their last game, against Ajax in the 53rd minute to make it 2-0. The ball's been chipped forward and halfway towards Amrabat. Loses out to Igor. Poor touch from Mitoma. Back to Amrabat. Loses out again there. I think it was number 20, Petros Mantalos, who tried to take over to drive it forward, but he lost possession. It's now with Gilmour, forward and halfway to Pedro. Takes it on the turn nicely away from two AEK Athens players and plays it forward here. And ball out to the left to Mitoma. Tries to enter the box, can't get it on his right foot. He's been tackled by Amrabat. And as he tries to make up for losing possession, Mitoma brings down the Moroccan winger. And it'd be a free kick for AEK Athens on the edge of the 18-yard box. Made it too easy there, Mitoma. Telegraphed where he wanted to dribble the ball. And Amrabat saw it through, won the ball back and then won the free kick. But both sides have made 5 changes since the last time these two met at the Amex. It's a ball down the right-hand side. It'll be given chase to here by Zuba. It'll be Verbruggen to come out of his 18-yard area to just clear it away with his left foot. It's a lifted ball into Igor, who nods it onto halfway. Headed away, though, by AEK Athens. Down the right-hand side. Can Amrabat keep it in? He will do. Well played here from Amrabat, who goes back now to Szymanski. And it's the Greek side with the ball just inside their own half here. With their number 2, Harold Makudi. Cameroon centre-half, made his debut for his country back in October of 2019. He's played 14 times for them. Rotter at right back, just inside the Brighton half. Down the line it goes to Amrabat, who's met by a strong challenge from Igor. And it'll be a throw-in for AEK Athens. Good tackling there from the Brazilian. As the throw-in's gone back to the halfway line here to Szymanski. Not got many options near him. Not being pressed by a Brighton player. As all Brighton players are currently behind the ball. Out to the left here to Makudi. Forward and out to the left here to Gacinovic. Ball inside to Hadji, who was pulled down there by Veltman as he got beyond the Dutch fullback, and it'll be a yellow card for the former Ajax defender. Really good play there from Hadji. Nutmegged Veltman and went through him, and then got pulled down by Brighton's right back tonight. Good ball inside by AEK Athens number 8, Gacinovic. So it is a free kick. About 35 yards out, left-hand side, so no chance for a shot. I think it'll be Hadji over it, and it will be the left-back. Brighton's line is on the 18-yard line. I'm not quite sure what we're waiting for here. Everyone's ready for the cross to be delivered. And now we'll get some movement. The cross goes in. It's a low one, header away by Mitoma, but it's met on the edge of the box. It was a strike by Pineda, who was aiming for the top left corner. He definitely connected with it very sweetly, but just couldn't quite arrow the ball on target. Really good attempt, though. Always going wide, unfortunately. But it's worth a go. Because when they go in, they look absolutely fantastic. It's Brighton play out from the back. Verbruggen, left-footed ball over the press into the chest of João Pedro. He's been forced backwards and tries to play it forward. Cut out by Pineda. Out to the right now, in the final third. Amrabat. Can he get an early crossing? He's been allowed to scoop a ball into the 18-yard box, which has been chested down by Igor. And he'll dribble it out. And it's been played here to left-back Hinshelwood. In the defensive third, he clears it up the field, in behind, looking for a Adingra. He'll chase it down, but Hadji gets there first. Plays it to his goalkeeper Stankovic, who will calmly play it back out to the left to Hadji. And AEK Athens survive the Brighton counter-attack. It's on halfway with Gacinovic. Back into his left back, Hadji. Goes for the switch, out to the right, slips as he plays it. Poor ball in the end, cut out by Hinshelwood. As Hadji went down as he played it. And it'll be a free kick he gets. I'm sure he slipped as he played the ball. Let's have a look here. Hadji went for the switch. He just slipped. It's not a free kick. They've won a free kick and they build out from the back now and just inside their own half. But Adingra was closing him down and Hadji slipped and Adingra just ran into him by accident. It wasn't a foul, But somehow the referee gave it without even seeing it happen, because when the replay happened, I was having a look what the referee was looking at, and he was looking at the ball. He wasn't looking at the man, because the foul happened after he played it, even though it wasn't a foul, but the apparent foul. But AEK Athens play out from the back. Midway side of the Brighton half. Gacinovic switch out to the right to Amrabat. Edge of the box, goes for an early strike, blocked by Hinshelwood. And it'll be a throw-in on the far side for AEK Athens. Probably should have played the pass there, Amrabat, instead of this shot, but still in possession for the home side. Thrown down the line to Amrabat. Back to goal against Hinshelwood. Turns, tries the cross, but tackled by Mitoma. He goes to Hinshelwood on the byline. Needs to clear it. Plays a pass to Gilmore. Lays it off to Igor, who lifts it over the top. Cut out, though, in the end by Szymanski. Lifts out to the right to Rotter. Beyond the first challenge of Ferguson. Can't get away from Hinshelwood, who will clear down the line. Cut out by Szymanski. And it's back again with AEK Athens in the final third. Inside. Nice ball. Across it goes. Pineda, edge of the box. Trying to play a ball through to Gacinovic, but it's cut out by Veltman. It'll drop to left back Hadzafi, who is battling here with Adingra towards the corner flag on the near side. Plays a ball backwards to Pineda. 10 yards to his right here to Makudi. Now in the centre circle is Vida. To the right to Szymanski. It's now Amrabat, midway side, the opposition half, on the far side, running at Hinshelwood. Heavy touch around him. Can he work across? He will. Far post. Header. Pineda! Oh! Easy save in the end for Verbruggen. Bit more power on that header from Pineda, and he asks a bigger question of the goalkeeper. But it's good wing play there from Amrabat to take it around Hinshelwood and working across to the far post. Still remains 0-0. 16.5 minutes here in Athens. Dunk on the ball, midway side his own half here. Not being closed down by an AEK Athens man, so he's allowed to play a ball over the top. Pascal Gross chases it. The goalkeeper heads it out. Drops to João Pedro from afar. He'll take on the shot, which has been blocked by Szymanski. Drops back to the Brazilian, who can't turn away from the Polish midfielder. But the back heel pass away from Szymanski is picked back up by João Pedro. And it's Brighton in possession again, just inside their own half here with Igor. Forward in the centre circle now to Pascal Gross. Back he goes to Dunk. Dribbles forward, passes the halfway line, plays a ball to João Pedro, heavy touch, won back by Zuba. And it's now chance for AEK Athens. There's a ball out to the left, Zuba. 1-2 with Mantalos, but it's cut out by Veltman as he tried to feed it out to the left to Gacinovic. Poor touch from Gross, loses out eventually to Pineda. Ball out to the left to Hadzafi, final third. There's a couple of bodies in there for AEK Athens as he'll put a low cross in, met by the shot, blocked by Dunk, drops to Adingra on the edge, who shoots towards the far post. It's spilt by Van Verbruggen, but no one's following up for AEK Athens, and he can get on the afters, Verbruggen. But they've definitely grown into this game in the last 5 minutes. Decent low ball in there by Hadzafi, and the shot was took on there. I think it was by Mantalos, the Greek striker, and it was eventually saved on the shot from Pineda. As Brighton have it again in their own half. It's with their captain, number 5, Lewis Dunk, making his 432nd appearance for the club. Centre-back born in Brighton. João Pedro again overrunning it in his own half, but he just about keeps it away from Steven Zuba. The AEK Athens striker, who was the goal winner at the weekend. And AEK Athens currently 3rd in the league, but only 1 point off top spot. As a ball down the left channel will be given chase to here by Ferguson. He'll get there first on the left wing position. Tackle from behind there from Makudi. And it will be a throw-in for Brighton in the final third. Well won there from the Irish striker. His only sniff at goal so far came in the first couple of minutes, where he had a shot blocked and the shot saved at the near post. Hinshelwood tries to flick it around Rotter. The AEK Athens right back runs out of pitch. And it'll be a goal kick for the home side. There is Roberto De Zerbi giving out some instructions. Joined the club in September of 2022. This is his 58th game in charge, looking for his 28th win. Didn't pick any wins in his first 5 games as Brighton boss. You might remember his first game being at Anfield, where they drew 3-3 with a Trossard hat-trick. AEK Athens playing out from the back. Vida. To the edge of the box to Pineda. He's been closed down here by Pascal Gross, and he's tackled by the German, who gets it fairly. Drops to Adingra. Forward on the edge of the box towards João Pedro, met by a strong challenge from Makudi. But the tackle drops to Hinshelwood. Ferguson through into the box, looking for João Pedro, just slightly overhit. And it'll run through to a very thankful Stankovic in goal for AEK Athens. It's a very youthful youthful side tonight for Brighton, especially their forward line. Evan Ferguson, 19, João Pedro, 22, Adingra, 21. And in the midfield, they've got the likes of Gilmour at 22, Hinshaw Woods, 18. 20 minutes in, still 0-0 here. Bad chances for both sides. Saves being forced from both goalkeepers. Szymanski has it on the edge of the 18-yard box. Shifts it away after he was being closed down there by Ferguson. Now with their goalkeeper again. Stankovic. Vida. Forward to Amrabat. He's just dropped slightly deeper here from the right wing position to get the ball and try and shift out to the right, left-hand side, where it was originally cut out by Adingra, but his touch was heavy. And the loose ball is picked up by Gacinovic. Makudi at centre-half, playing it forward and finds Mansalos, who puts a ball over the top, down the left-hand side, finds Gacinovic in the 18-yard area. He'll drive at Dunk, takes on his right foot and goes for the shot at the near post, but just drags it wide there. Really good ball there from Petros Mansalos, who came really deep from the striker position, almost in a holding midfield role there. And he got it down the channel, and he found Gacinovic, who was allowed to run at Dunk one-on-one, and instead of taking on the Brighton captain, he went for the early strike. But I think it was covered by the Brighton goalkeeper, had it been on target. Clipped forward from the goal kick, drops in the end to the chest of Ferguson, who will chase it ahead of Vida, and he'll take it away from the centre-half, and it'll drop in the end to Veltman, who tries to feed a ball out to the right to Adingra, just ahead of the Ivorian. And there'll be a throw in here on the near side for the home team. It'll be taken by Ehsan Hajsafi as he throws it. He wants to throw it towards the halfway line. Not got much movement from his side. Throws it to Gacinovic and gets the return. He goes backwards 10 yards to Makudi. It goes back once more to his goalkeeper in his 18-yard area, Stankovic, who was signed from RB Salzburg, where he spent 6 years of his career winning 6 league titles and 5 cups with the Austrian side. Edge of the 18-yard box. João Pedro is slowly closing him down, but he clips out to the right to Rotter. Headed forward here on the halfway line. Finds Zuba. Ball forward to Amrabat, who was offside. Lazy there from the former Watford winger. Being picked offside there. Maybe a free kick taken quickly here to Billy Gilmour. Gross just inside the Brighton half. Goes backwards here to Lewis Dunk, who signed a new 3-year deal back in July of this year. Gilmour forced back to the edge of the box here to Verbruggen. Gilmour again, midway side his own half, shifts it away from Pineda and finds Dunk. He goes forward towards João Pedro on halfway. He's been tackled by Makudi, who gets it forward quickly. Chance Zuba nearly fed through in the box, but it's cut out by Igor. And eventually Hinsel would go back to Igor in the 18-yard box. He dribbles it out, very risky, but he gets it away and feeds out to the right to Veltman. He's got a lot of green grass to run into here. As he plays it into the opposite half to Adingra. Back inside to Gross. And then makes a run forward, Adingra. And the touch heavy inside. He will get there. Oh, he nearly got there and had Shafi. But eventually it's cleared by AEK Athens for a throw-in for Brighton towards the final third on this near side. Going to be Veltman to get forward from fullback to take. He's got Adingra close. But he plays it to Gross, who returns it to the Dutch fullback, and he goes back here on halfway to Lewis Dunk. Igor on halfway. Forward to Hinshelwood, who goes back into the centre circle here to Dunk, who dribbles it into the opposite half. Goes out to the right to Gross. Here's Adingra. He's got everything to his left here for Brighton as he drives inside away from Hajsafi. Looks for a ball over the top, but Ferguson didn't make the run. And it goes straight through to the hands of Stankovic in the AEK Athens goal. As for AEK Athens, their only loss in the league came away from home against Crete, who are currently 7th in the Greek Super League. They have lost away from home against Marseille in the Europa League so far this season. Obviously went to the Amex and won 3-2. It's Amrabat down the right hand side, can't get away from Igor. That's got to be a free kick. Please tell me it's a free kick. It will be. Amrabat in the right wing position, trying to get around Igor, and he nearly got around him, but the Brazilian centre-half for Brighton just did not allow him. As soon as he knew he was beat, he just kept hold of the Moroccan, didn't let him go. And I'm hoping he's booked as well, because that's just cynical from Igor. The ball was played down the right-hand side, and Amrabat was so far offside. Oh no, they were showing the offside from before. He wasn't offside then. So he wins his free kick. He wins a free kick here on the far side. It'll be Mantalos to take. AEK Athens number 20. Greek international. 58 appearances for his team. As he will deliver the cross here. Great opportunity to put this in a dangerous area. Just over 25 minutes in. Got to make the most of these chances from set pieces. A deep breath out. Cross in. Near post. Helped on by Hinshelwood. He'll drop to the edge of the box here for AEK Athens for Pineda. He's one-on-one here with Veltman. Gets onto his right foot. Wants to get it back in the box, but the angle's not there. So plays down the line to Szymanski, who goes back into Pineda. He's desperate to get it back in the box, but has to go across here to Haj Safi. He then tries it in the box. Brought down on the edge by Dunk. Cleared alongside Pineda, who heads it back to the halfway line here as AEK Athens keep possession with their right back Rotter. Stankovic on the edge of the 18-yard box. A long clearance down the right channel for AEK Athens towards Amrabat. Comes off the head of Hinshelwood into the path of Amrabat, who brings it down in the box. He's tackled, though, really well from Igor. And the free kick goes Brighton's way as Igor got the slide tackle in. He was just pulled down by Amrabat. Amrabat was chasing it down. His eyes were on the ball. Igor just got his body in front of him, eventually. And as he got the tackle away, he was just being pulled back there from Amrabat, and yeah, rightly given free kicks. Had a bit of a tug of the shirt there. Nordin Amrabat. He was born in the Netherlands but represents Morocco. Or did represent Morocco now at the age of 36 now. Brighton play out from the back. Left centre half Igor, midway side his own half. Falls backwards into his 18-yard box with goalkeeper Verbruggen. Clears it first time, left footed beyond the halfway line. Looking for João Pedro. Header won though by Szymanski. Drops loose ball. Adingra just got there ahead of Gacinovic. And it'll be a free kick on halfway for Brighton. And there'll be a booking here for the AEK Athens winger. Joel Veltman asked for the booking, and his wish was granted by the referee. There's a loose ball there, and Adingra with his pace just got there, unfortunately, for Gacinovic ahead of him, the Serbian winger, making his 50th appearance tonight, and marking it with a booking. Mijat Gacinovic, and he'll miss AEK Athens' next game in the Europa League against Ajax. Ball over the top, looking for João Pedro, collected by Stankovic. Igor, the Brazilian, looking for another Brazilian in the Brighton squad, and that's João Pedro, but he was just overcooked in the end. And Stankovic on the ball in a full blue kit tonight. The home side goalkeeper. It's Pineda dropping deep for the ball, and he gets it midway side his own half. Out to the right to Mantalos. To right back Rotter, running back towards his own goal here. He does feed it to Stankovic, and he has to clear first time as he was being pressed by Matoma. Drops to the halfway line to Amrabat, who does nod it on, but it's cut out by Dunk. And Dunk's been forced to go backwards to Verbruggen. Gacinovic will chase it, and Verbruggen just about gets it out to right back Veltman. Very close to being intercepted there. It's now Adingra. Nice ball inside to Billy Gilmore, who passes the halfway line. He's got options left and right. Goes forward instead to João Pedro, and it's a misplaced pass. It's got to be better from the Scotsman, because that was a chance. Sorry if you can hear any noise, I do apologise. Stankovic. Clipped out to right back Rotter. It's misplaced. Throw in on the far side for Brighton in the opposite half. It's been thrown back to the halfway line by Hinshelwood into Igor. Assessing his options here. Brighton's left centre half. Plays it to his right here to Gilmore. It's now Gross in the centre circle. Back into Dunk on the edge of the centre circle in the Brighton half. It's Gross again. Out to the left towards Igor. Cut out though. And it's fell to Zuba, who's bearing down on goal. Takes an early strike on the edge of the box. And it's had to be parried over by Verbruggen. Pascal Gross immediately puts his hand up to apologise, because that's just a lazy pass. They could have kept possession, but he tried to be fancy, switching out to the Brighton left. It was cut out by the head of Mantalos. And that header went straight through to the path of Zuba, who went early with the strike. But it was saved. So a corner for AEK Athens on the far side. It'll be Hadzafi to take. Right arm raised. It'll be a left-footed in-swinger. Half an hour in. Can the home side take a lead? In it goes, near post. Zuba with the header, and it's just wide. Oh, it's close. Zuba was the one who won the header. It was a great ball in. Zuba beat João Pedro to it, and it's just an inch or so wide of the post. It's so close from the Swiss forward. And thankfully it's a goal kick for Brighton. Verbruggen forward to the edge of the box to Gross. He's allowed to turn. He's looking for a pass, plays it forward in between the lads to João Pedro, who's back heel down the Brighton right. I think he was looking for a dinger, but he was nowhere to be seen. And it'll run through for a throw-in for the home side on this near side. And I thought this was a very interesting stat that I read. AEK Athens have already given away 5 penalties so far this season in the Europa League. The only team to have given more away in a full Europa League campaign was Braga with 6 back in the 2021-2022 season. So they are usually ones to give penalty kicks away, which you don't want to do with João Pedro on the pitch for Brighton, who scored 5 penalties already for his new side so far this season. As Adingra has it now for Brighton. Out to right back Veltman. Down the line it goes. Finds Pascal Gross, but he's tackled strongly by Makudi, who goes out to the right. And is now on halfway with Vida. So now with Roth to the right back, 10 yards inside the Brighton half. Lays it off to his left here to Amrabat. Not got many options here, so just keeps the ball. And he goes back to Makudi. Out to left back, Hadzafi. Midway inside the Brighton half. Adingra putting a tackle in. And AEK Athens have been forced to go back into their own half here. And it's with Szymanski, the Polish midfielder. 28-year-old Polish international. With left back Hadzafi. Still inside the AEK Athens half as Brighton just set up to defend solidly. Don't want to give anything away here, and it's now with their goalkeeper Stankovic on the edge of the 18-yard box. Ball out to the left to Makudi. Back to the goalkeeper Stankovic as João Pedro was quickly closing the ball down there with intent. Edge of the box here is the Mexican Pineda, who last season scored 9 goals in the league for AEK Athens and 1 in their cup run, where they ended up winning the Greek Cup last season alongside the league title for AEK Athens. As they have already lost twice at home this season in Europe, once against Marseille, and then they also lost in Champions League qualifying at home to Royal Antwerp as well. So they're playing out from the back here. Makudi's just been tackled there. Last touch came off João Pedro. Good strike from Zuba just before, hitting it sweetly, but it was just straight down the middle, and it could be tipped over by Bart Verbruggen. Signed from Anderlecht in the summer for just over £16 million. Brighton's numbered number 1. Not really their out-and-out number 1. It's very much rotation policy for the goalkeepers between Verbruggen and Steele. As AEK Athens got it out to the right. Ball forward into the path of Zuba. Cut out, though, by Dunk midway side his own half. Play to left back Hinshelwood. It will go backwards into the 18-yard box for Brighton so they can restart with possession at the back line. Their centre-half, Igor. So he got the 1 professional goal in his career, despite being at the age of 25. It came for Spal in Italy against Lecce back in December of 2019. Matoma, ball around the corner, looking for Hinshelwood, who's darted forward from fullback. Gets his ball inside here to Ferguson. Moving away from one AEK Athens challenge, but can't get away from the right back Rotter. And he gives the ball away. And it's back with Pineda in the midfield for AEK Athens. Getting away from the challenge of Gross. And feeding it out to the left here to Hadzafi. Midway side the Brighton half. He's going to try and dart forward if possible. Plays an early cross into the box where it's headed away with the diving header of Igor. And on the edge of the box, I think Gacinovic wanted it to the feet there. But the left back Hadzafi put a lifted ball in instead, which allowed the cross to be headed away. Just over 10 minutes to go. So we played the first 45 minutes. It remains 0-0 here in Greece. Both teams have had chances. Brighton a little bit quiet. The last 10 or 15 minutes in an attacking sense as Pineda drives forward with the ball. Enters the box, not being closed down here, and he's allowed to strike the near post. It was always curling wide, and Pineda apologises for the poor attempt when there was quite a lot of bodies in the box there. just driving forward down the left-hand side, and just no one was closing him down, so entered the box. I think he almost was surprised himself that he was allowed to just wander into the 18-yard area, but his shot was always going wide, unfortunately, for the home side. Bruggen out to the right to Adingra, nodded inside here to João Pedro, touches heavy, just about keeps it in and plays it backwards to Veltman, who tries to get the return to João Pedro, and he gets it to the former Watford man, who loses out in midway side his own half here to centre-back Makudi, who's followed him the whole way, as Gacinovic works it down the left-hand side to Zuba. As the ball was just gone out of play there, Gacinovic couldn't quite keep it in for the home side. It'll be Joel Veltman, the right back, to take. Forward of Ajax himself for 19 years, Joel Veltman. Signed a 2-year extension of his contract at Brighton in the summer. 31 years of age now. The Dutchman. As Ferguson loses out. Amrabat on the right for Athens. He's been forced to go backwards here to Rotter, who's now getting forward from full-back. Good touch in front of him, but being chased down here by Evan Ferguson, who's almost at left-back here, the Irish centre-forward. Amrabat forced backwards to the halfway line as Matoma was on his back there. So now with Domagoy Vida, who's won 6 league titles in his career, 2 in Ukraine, 1 in Turkey, 2 in Croatia, and then the 1 last season in Greece. Signed from Besiktas last summer. As Makudi, ball over the top, down the left-hand side. Gacinovic will give chase, but I think he's just seen the ball out of play. But it is a throw-in for Brighton on the near side, right towards the corner flag, so it's a chance for Athens to push up here and try and win the ball back in a dangerous area, deep in the Brighton half. Veltman with the throw. Goes into Pascal Gross. Gets the return, Veltman, and dinks it down the Brighton right. Header won by Szymanski. And forward by Hadzafi. Cut out, though, in the end by Veltman. Gilmour towards Matoma. Poor ball. Cut out by Rotter from right back, who's found himself on the left-hand side here for Athens. He's got Gacinovic with him. He goes to Pineda instead. And they're now going to feed out to the right-hand side, to Vida. Now Amrabat. Back to the halfway line here to Domagoj Vida. He's made over 100 appearances for his country, Croatia. 34-year-old centre-half. Makudi. Just 10-yard pass to his right to Mantalos. Pineda, first-time ball back to Szymanski. He has it on halfway. Cross to the right to Rotter. First time ball to Vida as Matoma was just sniffing around the ball. Vida forward into Zuba, who gets it ahead of Pascal Gross. Well played here from Athens, and they've shifted out to the left-hand side. Gacinovic, 1-on-1 with Veltman, enters the box. Tries to go on the inside, can't get through, and Dingra and Veltman. And the Ivorian winger for Brighton will clear down the line. But it won't stick up front for Brighton. One back for the home side. It's now with Hadzafi. I think they were looking for Evan Ferguson there, but couldn't find the Irishman. Now on the halfway line in the centre circle with Vida. Right back Rotter. Down the line to Amrabat. It goes back his own half here with Rotter. It's now with Vida. Midway side his own half. Quickly shifts it to left centre half Makudi. Forward on halfway. And gets the return from Mantalos. Back to Mantalos again. Misplaced pass though. Couldn't pick it up. First time ball. Gilmour out to the right channel to João Pedro in the final third. Just outside the 18-yard area. Ferguson's in the box. Adingra is trying to join in the attack. Towards the byline now, João Pedro. Goes backwards here to Gilmour. Returns it to João Pedro. Has to go backwards all the way to right back Veltman. Who plays it to the halfway line to Duncan. All Athens players now behind the ball. But he plays it forward in between the lines for Gilmour. Shifts it to the left to Igor. Dribbles forward. Taking a one player and a second and a third, but tackled by the fourth. Good slide tackle in the edge of the box by Vida, whose ball forward is eventually intercepted by Pascal Gross, and Brighton have possession again. Gilmour. João Pedro back to goal, tried to flick it in behind towards Ferguson, cut out, but the clearance is back to Veltman, so Brighton still on the ball here. On halfway with Gross. Out to the right to Adingra. Been forced backwards there as he was being pressured by Hadzafi. But he was able to keep it for Brighton. And it's with a captain, Lewis Dunk. Looking for a bit of movement. Plays out to the left here to Hinshelwood. He's just come inside from left back. And it's Igor. Ball forward to Evan Ferguson. Tries to play it first time into the path of Hinshelwood. But it's a poor pass and it can be intercepted. And it plays back to the AEK Athens goalkeeper, who will clear it first time with his right boot towards halfway, where the header's been flicked on by Zuba. Looking for the run of Rotter, the right back, but he'll run through for a throw in midway inside their own half here for Brighton. And as it stands, the gap between AEK Athens and Brighton would remain 3 points. With this draw, a win for Brighton would qualify them for the knockout stages. A win for AEK Athens would put them on the same points as each other, and it'll go right through to the last game as the decider of who progresses into the knockout stages. Lewis Dunk forward to João Pedro, tries to take on the turn just after the halfway line, but it's brought down there by Pineda. Be a free kick for Brighton. Well won there by number 9, João Pedro, who's obviously formerly with Watford before leaving for £30 million to join the Seagulls. And he has featured in every single game so far this season for Brighton, the Brazilian João Pedro, where he's got 3 goals in the league. 4 goals in the league, and 4 in the Europa League. So we're edging closer towards half-time. 4 minutes to go. Pascal Gross clips it into the box, looking for the far post, as I think it was Lewis Dunk trying to get there. Just couldn't quite meet it, despite stretching as much as he could there, Lewis Dunk. And there'll be a goal kick for the home side, who have only conceded 10 goals at home in all competitions after playing 10 games at the home stadium, so only conceding a goal a game, which isn't the worst record in the world. You know, with the fact they've had to play Champions League qualifiers and obviously played in the Europa League as well, they've come up against some tough opponents, but for the majority they are able to keep their back door shut. Stankovic, the goalkeeper, clears it right-footed up to the halfway line, well brought down by Zuba with a ball to Gacinovic on the left, and tries to return it to the Swiss forward, who will get there down the left-hand side. One-on-one with Dunk. Goes around Dunk nicely on the inside, edge of the box, plays it across. Amrabat tries to take on a couple of Brighton players, but he overruns it eventually, and he's tackled there by João Pedro. That's the clearance from the side tackle. Goes straight back to AEK Athens, and they feed it out to the right-hand side to Rotter, the right back, midway side his own half. Links up here with Pineda, who is able to get away from the challenge of Gilmore and Mitoma. Back with right back Rotter. Back to Pineda, who charges down the right-hand side. He's got a chance to cross here. Mitoma can't stop it. Ball goes in, but it's chested down by Dunk so calmly into the hands of Verbruggen. I think Mantalos there was chasing towards it, but Dunk still has had the calmness to chest it back to his goalkeeper. Did not look at 1 minute there. Panicked, Lewis Dunk. And they play out from the back. Lewis Dunk dribbling out of his 18-yard area. Driving forward, playing it into Gilmore, forward to Pascal Gross, intercepted by Szymanski, and it's now Gacinovic on the left-hand side, driving forward. He's got a ball inside, he'll play it to Zuba, on the left side of the box, he works a chance for a shot, deflects off the post and out, and onto the head. I think it was Gacinovic, and over the bar it goes. That's the biggest chance they've had so far tonight. Driving forward there, Gacinovic. Played on the inside to Zuba, who worked himself away from Veltman. Shot deflected off Dunk onto the post. And as it hit the post, it came back out towards Gacinovic, who didn't know much about it, kind of just bounced off his head and over the bar. And that's a huge chance for the home side. And they've won it back again. Right wing position. Crossed early. Zuba, far post, heads it towards goal, but can't generate the power. Easy save, but well won again. They're winning it in the right areas, AEK Athens, in the Brighton half, where they can break quickly and get the gaps and get the ball in between those gaps. And they've won it back again, just before the halfway line. It's now Amrabat, the right winger, playing it forward. Mantalos, Rotter's furthest right. He crosses it as he receives it. Dunk wins the first header to the far post. Gacinovic heads it, then hits it, and then it's blocked by Dunk. And eventually it goes out for a corner. But AEK Athens are certainly knocking at this Brighton door. They're not quite able to knock it down yet. There's both Dunk here and Zuba are down with head injuries. Rotter with a great cross in. Zuba and Dunk just colliding on the second aerial duel. But with the smile on his face, he likes what he's seen here. The AEK Athens head coach, Matthias Almeida, formerly of River Plate and San Jose most recently, before joining AEK Athens. It's his first ever European club that he's ever managed. The head coach has an in-swing on the near side, is headed away by Evan Ferguson, helped away by Matoma, and Ori Fardo, headed back into the edge of the 18-yard box by Amrabat. Cleared by Hinshelwood. Kept alive here by Szymanski. Pascal Gross heads it out to the left of Matoma, who picks it up in the left-back area. Turns away from Vida. We've hit the 45th minute here. Matoma still driving forward as he's been tackled, and the last touch comes off the Japanese international, but the referee doesn't want to see any more. 45 minutes is enough, and the referee blows for half-time, and that has been a rather entertaining first half of football here in Athens, as it stays as it was from the very beginning. It's AEK Athens 0, Brighton 0, and we have had chances in this one. The first couple of chances came for Evan Ferguson just over a minute in. Played down the left-hand side, entered the box. His first shot was saved, and then his second one was blocked by Domagoj Vida. And from the resulting corner, Dunk got on it at the far post. It was headed back across goal in the 6-yard area. Ferguson tried to meet it, but it just went past him. And eventually it went for a goal kick for AEK Athens. Other than that, Domagoj Vida nearly passed it into his own goal around 10 minutes in, but he was stopped on the line by Sikan Stankovic. So Brighton early on were definitely the better team, but after around the 10th, 15th minute, AEK Athens started to grow into the game a little bit more and had chances of their own. Zuba's had a shot parried over the crossbar. We've had shots blocked from Dunk a couple of times, a few headers saved from the goalkeeper Bart Verbruggen, and the home side have definitely had their fair share of chances, as the home side have had 13 shots, 4 on target with 58% possession, and Brighton have only conjured the 4 shots with 1 on target, and obviously having the other 42% of the possession. So at half-time, in Athens, the home side are dominating, but they're yet to score, and at half-time it is AEK Athens 0, Brighton 0. What an entertaining first half. I enjoyed that. AEK Athens are definitely a decent footballing side. You can see why they went to the Amex and won, really, because I think they're definitely a side you could underestimate. And I think Brighton did that in the first game, and they're not doing it in the second game because they've learnt their lesson, but they're still struggling to deal with AEK Athens, who are winning the ball high with a good press, cutting down the passing lanes, which are winning them the ball back. Brighton think they can play their intricate passes, but the home side are cutting them out more often than not, which is putting them under pressure, and they're attacking well. Just unfortunately, they haven't had the ball in the back of the net yet. That 3-2 win for AEK Athens at the Amex was a big win. It was a really big win. Big win. They did go 1-0 up in that one through former Everton defender Jibril Sidibe. And then they were pulled back by Pedro to make it 1-1. Then he went 2-1 Gatsinovic just before half-time, before an equaliser from João Pedro again. But the winner was scored for AEK Athens in the 84th minute through Ezequiel Ponce, the Argentine striker who joined in the summer from Elche. He's on the bench tonight for the home side. Could we see him again come on and possibly get another winner here for the home side? But it definitely will be a tough ask, this, for Brighton, with so many injuries as well. A lot of players missing out tonight for Brighton. They've got Solly March out of a knee injury, Welbeck's out of a muscle injury, Estepinian's out with a thigh injury, and he won't be back for a long time, according to Roberto De Zerbi. And Ciso's still out of a knee injury. Matoma missed the last game, but he's thankfully back in tonight for Brighton. Van Hecker's not in the matchday squad tonight, neither is Terry Lamptey, who came off injured at the weekend against Nottingham Forest. Adam Webster's also not found himself on the bench. A lot of youngsters in tonight for Brighton on the bench. They've got Lee Kavanagh and Ben Jackson, 2 centre-backs, 19 and 20 years old, respectively. Then a couple of midfielders also who are young, the likes of Samu Shoshane, the Tunisian midfielder, Jack Hinchy, also on the bench as well. Josh Duffus, another youngster. So they've had to try and fill the squad out with a lot of under-21s, and they are lacking depth in the first-team department, hence why they haven't been too good recently. Brighton, 1 win in their last 5 in all competitions. That came in their last game against Forest at the weekend. They didn't pick up any wins in November so far. No losses, in November. With a few draws against Everton, Sheffield United, Ajax, in Forest of where they've won. If you are new, you could like and subscribe. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Another commentary coming up on the weekend. It is at 5:30 on Saturday, where Nottingham Forest welcome travelling Everton, and we've got one on Sunday 4:30, where Manchester City take on Tottenham Hotspur. And we've got a couple of games, Premier League games in the week, as we've got quite a lot of games in the Premier League coming up as the festive period is well upon us. As the commentaries next week should be Wolves against Burnley on the 5th of December. Then on the 6th of December, we've got Aston Villa against Manchester City. And then on the 7th of December, we've got Everton against Newcastle. So 3 commentaries coming in a row. And then the weekend game we'll be covering next weekend will be Spurs Newcastle. So plenty of commentaries coming. So make sure you subscribe and like so you are aware of which commentaries are coming up on the channel. Yeah, like and subscribing just really does help out. And make sure you stick around for the second half, which will be upon us sooner rather than later. We are goalless in the first half, but we've had plenty of opportunities, more so for AEK Athens, but that does not mean that Brighton haven't created anything. Their chances came more in the first 5 minutes, where Evan Ferguson had 2 shots saved and blocked, and then the dunk header at the far post went right across goal. But other than that, they've not had much to shout about. But AEK Athens have kind of been constant with their pressure, getting a lot of shots away. A couple just dragging wide at the near post. Wow, that scared the life out of me. Shots coming from Steven Zuber, Mijat Gacinovic. Gacinovic with the shot dragged at the near post. Serbian midfielder did score away at Brighton in the first game of the group stages, making his 50th appearance for the Greek side. And as AEK Athens won the league last season, it was their first league title since 2018. And it was their first, and they also won the cup, and they've won 5 Greek cups now since the turn of the century. But on the stats, it has been all AEK Athens. Don't get me wrong, I think Brighton have dealt with it okay. Being away from home in Europe, it's never easy. And the fact that they have conceded 13 shots with 4 on target and they are still 0-0 does show that they're keeping the ball out of the goal, even though it might not be as easy as they want it to be. But they're just losing it too easily inside their own half, Brighton. That's why AEK Athens have had so many shots at goal, because they're winning it high in the Brighton half. And, when they win the ball, they're pretty much already in a position to get a shot away. And that's what they're doing. They're not rushing any shots. They're working it, but if they can get a quick snapshot away, then they're getting them off and try to test Bart Verbruggen in the Brighton goal. But when they have got players on the ball, Brighton, they have looked dangerous. When they get Simon Adingra on the ball, when they get Matoma on it, that's where their danger is. But just in the midfield, they're just not quite making the ball stick, unfortunately. João Pedro's give it away a few times when dropping deep for the ball as well. Baleba needs to come on for Brighton, their midfield to get manhandled. Yeah, I definitely do think they probably need another body in the midfield, possibly. Gilmore and Gross are finding it hard in there. Don't know what change they'd make for that to happen. I mean, I know they could bring on Baleba as a midfielder, but what do they change to? Did they maybe take off a João Pedro and go 5 across the midfield and leave 1 up front? What kind of changes did they make system-wise to bring on that Baleba? Because they are getting overrun in midfield. That's such a good chance for Zuber at the end of the half. Deflected onto the post off Lewis Dunk, and then the rebound was headed over the crossbar. That was the biggest chance of the game for the home side. As I said at the start, but if you weren't here at the start, AEK Athens are currently on a run of 14 home games in the Europa League without a win. It is the longest run at home without a win in the competition's history. They don't want to make it 15, and they want to win, because if they win, they go level on points with Brighton going into the last game of the group stages. And they have come closest with that shot deflected onto the post there from Zuber off Dunk. As the second half will be getting underway very shortly now. So let's have a look at the other games in Europe, kicking off slightly earlier. I think West Ham are on the early kick-off as well. Could be wrong. They are against Baka Topola, and they are 0-0. Oh, Freiburger 4-0 up at half time against Olympiacos. Wow. Any Conference League early kickoffs? Aston Villa playing later tonight. I think they are playing later tonight. Aberdeen 2-1 down, unfortunately. It's Helsinki. Can't qualify, though, Aberdeen, no matter what results take place tonight. And Aston Villa kick off later on at home to Legia Warsaw. And in the Europa League, the later kickoffs for the British sides is Liverpool against Lask at home at 8 o'clock. And Rangers also at home to Aris Limassol at Ibrox. Some decent fixtures tonight in the Europa League and the Conference League. But we've still got the second half of this fixture to come, where Brighton, they've got a run of some tricky fixtures in the Premier League, you could say. They've got to travel. I don't know if they've got to travel because I've not put if they're home or away. But they've got Chelsea next, and then they've got Brentford and Burnley. They definitely fancy it against Burnley, but like I said, they probably would have fancied it against Sheffield United a few games ago, but they drew that 1-1 at the Amex, which wasn't good enough. And, you know, more likely than not, Brighton will concede because they've only kept 2 clean sheets so far this season in all competitions, none in the Premier League after 13 games. Their 2 clean sheets have both come against Ajax home and away. So, even though they've been keeping the goals out in the Europa League, they do usually leak a goal or two, Brighton, which has been why they have struggled a little bit as of late. They've been scoring a decent amount of goals, but they've just not been able to stop the goals going into their own net, unfortunately. But tonight could be the night where they are able to keep a 3rd clean sheet in a row in the Europa League. Just have to wait and see. But they, like I said, they were 6 without a win before their win at the weekend against Nottingham Forest. They've lost twice this season. One of them to tonight's opponents, AEK Athens, and also lost to West Ham, where in both of those games they conceded 3 goals. But they are unbeaten in their last 3 in the Europa League, which started with that 2-2 draw away at Marseille and then back-to-back wins against Ajax. As we didn't get any additional time, so the players should be back out in a couple of minutes to start the second half. But a win tonight for Brighton would qualify them for the knockout stages, which would be a huge success in their first ever European campaign. I mentioned in this the last commentary I did about a month ago for Brighton against Ajax, but at the end of the 2018-2019 season, they finished with 34 points, 2 off the relegation zone. You know, that was only 4 years ago. And now look at them in the Europa League. Last season, they finished a league highest in 6th position with 62 points. Got the 4th most amount of goals in the league with 72, behind the likes of Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, who's got a few more goals than them. They were 1 point above Aston Villa in 7th, but they were 9 points off top 4, where Newcastle took up that last Champions League spot. Second half will be getting underway in about a minute's time, hopefully, at the Hagia Sophia Stadium. Can Brighton nick a winner? Or will AEK Athens take it to the last game of the group stages, where a win would put them level with Brighton? So there are the Aston Villa players arriving at Villa Park. I believe Aston Villa's qualification is nearly wrapped up, not mathematically, but with a win tonight, they'll definitely get the qualification wrapped up. Brighton, well, Brighton will, but Villa will as well in the Conference League. But they need to get going a bit more in the attacking third for Brighton. It was a little bit stale for the majority. A couple of shots from Evan Ferguson, one over the bar from Adingra. João Pedro not quite making the ball stick when he gets here, and he's not quite linking up like he usually does with the positive effect he usually has. The Brazilian, who was signed for £30 million, made 8 signings in the summer. Brighton, average age of 23, which kind of shows you the direction they go in with their signings. Brighton, they like to bring in the youthful players. As Brighton are back out on the field for this second 45 minutes, and so are the home side. Well, it'll be AEK Athens kicking left to right, Brighton right to left towards their away supporters in the far corner of the ground. And there is referee Sandro Scherer, who was the referee for Scotland's 2-0 win against Spain earlier on this year in their European qualification, which they got through in the end in second place, just behind Spain in the end. And we are waiting for the 35-year-old referee's whistle, as we've got another 45 minutes here in Athens, which could really change the group, turn it on its head. As it's AEK Athens kick-off. Back to Makudi, who dribbles past João Pedro as he closed him down, thinking he was going to clear the ball. Goes to the left here to Haj Zafi. Goes to right centre half Vida, midway side his own half. He's slowly being closed down here by Evan Ferguson. Shifts it to left back Haj Zafi, who wants to go long but keeps the ball short with his goalkeeper Stankovic. No changes made by either team at half-time. Stankovic clearance towards the AEK Athens right, brought down by Hinshelwood on halfway. It's back with Brighton, with Igor the centre-half. Goes for a lifted ball, deflects out to the right to João Pedro, who looks in behind for Adingra, but it's well cut out there by Haj Zafi. And it's Athens back on the ball, out to the left here to Gacinovic. Tries to go on the inside of Veltman, but he's been tackled by the Dutchman. And he's been forced back to the 18-yard box for Brighton with their goalkeeper, Verbruggen. And here is 25-year-old Brazilian centre-half Igor dribbling forward with the possession inside the Brighton half. Forced here to dunk forward on halfway to Gross. Into the path of João Pedro, gets away from one challenge, and Ferguson tries to lay it off, but it's gone misplaced. Picked up here by Szymanski. It's now on the AEK Athens left, back into their own half with Haj Zafi, the left full-back. It's now Domagoj Vida, 90 seconds into the second half, no chances early on. Here is left back Haj Zafi. Can also play further up the field in a winger position, the left full-back. 33 years of age now, the Iranian. Rota, the right back, moving the ball away from Matoma. It's now Vida, the centre-half, inside to Makudi. Helped on once more here as the ball will be drilled out to the right-hand side, which could have by Hinshelwood, and he'll drop to Dunk, who clears it with his left foot. Not convincing, picked up on halfway by Pineda. It's now with Amrabat, looking out to the right-hand side as he tries to release it. He's been fouled there by Igor. Amrabat wanting to take it quickly, but Pineda was pulling his shirt back, not letting him take it as quickly as he would have wanted to. Just allowing AEK Athens to set up here for the free kick. It's about 15 yards inside the Brighton half, so they are definitely able to float this into the box and to play it quickly. This time out to the right to Amrabat, who will then work the crossing. It's a swinger to the far post, and a one by Veltman. Drops with a volley in the end, which goes across goal for AEK Athens. And he'll go through for a throw-in for Brighton in the left-back area. Volley there from the captain, Damian Szymanski. But it's now Hinshelwood at left-back with a throw-in for Brighton. Signed a contract for 3 years in April of this year, Hinshelwood, as he gets the return from the throw-in. Clears it first time. It's a looper, where it's headed forward by Makudi to the edge of the 18-yard box here for AEK Athens. Touched out to the right here to Amrabat by Zuba. Amrabat shows too much the ball to Hinshelwood, who then gives it away looking for Ferguson. Amrabat Dribbles forward, gets beyond Hinshelwood. Heavy touch where the cross goes in, but he just overran it. And it'll be a goal kick for Brighton. Would have been a corner there if he'd kept it in there, Amrabat. Sorry for any noise you can hear there in the background. Cleared forward there towards Adingra on the right-hand side. Cleaned up here by Makudi. Down the line, flicked inside, given away by Gacinovic. It's now Veltman on halfway. Goes back to right centre-half, Dunk. What's been impressive as well, and I don't know if it'll stay the same for Brighton tonight, but they have scored 2 or more in their opening 4 Europa League games, which I find is very... They've scored exactly 2 in every game so far, Brighton. The only team to have scored multiple goals in their first 5 games in major European competition, it was QPR back in 1967-1977 season in the UEFA Cup. So they have scored 2 in every game so far, which is, you know, quite an impressive statistic, especially in their first ever European campaign. As Evan Ferguson here has been brought down, and it'll be a free kick for Brighton in the AEK Athens half. Not a great angle for a cross, just to the right-hand side. But if anyone can put a good ball in, it will be Pascal Gross. He will swing the ball into the far post. It's a header won by Dunk. Across it goes. Header away by AEK Athens. Nodded back forward by Gilmour. Volleyed out wide left to Matoma by Veltman, but can't get there ahead of Rotter. And it'll be a throw-in the final third here on the near side for Brighton. As Matoma drops the ball and allows Josh Hinshelwood to take. England under-19 international Hinshelwood, who gets the return from the throw-in. Forward towards Evan Ferguson, who keeps it away from Vida, but kicks it only as far as Rotter, who clears down the line for AEK Athens towards Zuba, who was pulled down there by Igor. There'll be a free kick for AEK Athens. Well won there by Steven Zuba. Some good striking forward play to win the free kick. And AEK Athens have it on the edge of the 18-yard box with Vida. Back to the goalkeeper, Stankovic to the right here. To Szymanski, down the line to Rotter. High ball over the top. What a ball that is. That's a great ball. Mantalos, right side of the box, pulls it back. Chance for AEK Athens, saved by the right hand of Verbruggen from the shot from Gacinovic. And he'll win the ball back for his side here, feeding it to the left to Hajdafi. Great ball down the right channel, that is, from Szymanski to find Mantalos, whose cut back was decent. It was a first-time shot just towards the edge of the box by Gacinovic, but it was just down the centre of the goal. Easy save, really, in the end for Verbruggen. But with the AEK Athens goalkeeper here, sends it down the right-hand side towards Amrabat. Can't quite chest it down and keep possession. But even if he had kept possession, it would have been a free kick for Brighton, as he's been flagged offside, the former Watford winger. Another good chance there for AEK Athens. It needs to be better, though, from the number 8, Gacinovic. As Brighton have got the ball. Left centre-half Igor, passing the halfway line here. And playing it forward down the left to Hinshelwood, who is right in front of Roberto De Zerbi. It's now João Pedro picking it up midway side the AEK Athens half. Charging down the left beyond one challenge. And a second in front of a third, brought down from behind. And the referee says no. Needs to be cleared here for AEK Athens. And just played to the edge of the box to Mantalos. Got past a couple of plays there, João Pedro. And then he thought he was clipped from behind. The referee said no. Still with the home side inside their own half. Mantalos. And misplaces the ball into the Brighton half. Cut out and picked up by Joel Veltman at right back. Gilmour. Gross. Just about shifts it to left centre half. Igor. He dribbles beyond one player. And releases it to the right back, Veltman, midway inside his own half. He's been forced to go backwards into his 18-yard box here. To Verbruggen. Then back out wide to the left here to number 11, Billy Gilmour. Making his 4th start in the competition. As the play's been stopped here. And the referee is being told to go to his monitor to have a look of this foul on João Pedro. I mentioned it before. AEK Athens have already given away 5 penalties this season. The competition record is 6. with Braga. They could equal it, and I think that's a penalty. Tangle of legs there. Just given away from behind there by the captain, Damian Szymanski, and the referee points to the spot. And Brighton have a penalty. On the first glance, I did think it was a penalty. And it was a tangle of legs. João Pedro driving away from Amrabat. And then as he was being chased from behind there by Szymanski, they get their legs tangled together. And it's a penalty that's won by João Pedro. It'll more than likely be taken by João Pedro, who's scored 3 penalties so far this season in the Europa League. And the 4 he scored, 2 of them against AEK Athens in the home game, were from 12 yards out. He also scored from the spot against Marseille away from home. But this is a big moment for the young Brazilian. It could be his 5th of the Europa League. It'll be his 9th for Brighton since joining in the summer. It'll be his 6th from the penalty spot, including his goals in the Premier League. And just a simple drive and dribble into the 18-yard box has caused a mistake and a foul and a penalty for Brighton. It's João Pedro over it. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. It's Pedro against Stankovic with his right foot. Really dispatch it. The Brighton supporters are just to the right behind the goal. João Pedro strikes it into the bottom right corner. Sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. A nice finish, opening up the body. And he will go and celebrate into that corner where the Brighton fans are situated. And it might be an undeserved lead, but it's a lead that they've got, and it's one they need to protect. It's AEK Athens 0, Brighton 1. João Pedro from the spot again. Just over 10 minutes now into the second half. And it's Brighton with the lead. They've had to do a lot of defending, but they've been able now to get themselves into the lead. João Pedro eyes on the goalkeeper before looking down to slot the penalty into the bottom right corner. He scored at home against AEK Athens. He scored away against the Greek side. He scored at home against Ajax. Away at Marseille as well. He's only failed to score in 1 of Brighton's Europa League games this season, João Pedro, and that's probably the most important one he's got. Penalty given away by Damian Szymanski and put away by João Pedro, but it'll be an attack here for AEK Athens as they try and reply very quickly. Shot from the edge of the box. It's a wild one. It was never going to trouble Verbruggen. Shot there from their number 8, Gacinovic, who was signed last summer from Hoffenheim for €1 million. Needs to be doing better than that. The 28-year-old Serbian. As Brighton have the goal kick taken to Verbruggen, who clips it forward towards Ferguson. His chested touch goes to Gilmour midway side his own half. Ferguson stayed down as he was challenged from behind here by Vida. Ferguson stays down and the play is eventually stopped as it is a head injury. Doesn't look great for Ferguson. The 3 points for Brighton puts them top of the group for the moment. Marseille have still got to play later tonight, and a win for Marseille to put them back top. But this puts Brighton on 10 points, 6 ahead of AEK Athens, 8 ahead of Ajax, and it would put them into the knockouts. Oh, just a cheeky elbow there in the back of the neck there from Domagoj Vida. He definitely meant that. That was a bit naughty from Vida. Just a little bit of an elbow there into the back of the head of Evan Ferguson. But despite not being the dominant side tonight, Brighton, like they usually are, they have been able to get themselves ahead through a penalty. Like I say, the home side have dominated the attempts on goal. 14 for the home side, 5 on target, just under 60% possession. But first chance of the second half for Brighton. And it's been dispatched from the spot by João Pedro. 9th goal of the season for him in all competitions, 6 of them from the penalty spot. And it gives Brighton a very important lead here. Sending the goalkeeper the wrong way. Like I say, opening up the body, bottom right corner. Very well taken from the Brazilian. He lets the fans know around the ground the name on the back of the shirt. And AEK Athens will be very, very frustrated because they have dominated the game on the chances, as you can tell from the stats. but they've just not. Their shooting staff have been good enough. With their shooting, it's been weird. They've either hit it off target and it's gone wide, or they've hit it right down the centre of the goal. They've just not been able to find the corners tonight. Evan Ferguson is back on his feet on the sidelines. His play's resumed here with Matoma on the left wing position, just inside his own half. Heavy touch out of play. Throw in for Rotter, as Evan Ferguson's been allowed back on the field here. His AEK Athens have a throw in on the near side. Headed on by Amrabat, no one give chase. And it'll be seen through for Verbruggen in the Brighton goal. The flick on was meant for Petros Mantalos, but he wasn't chasing that. He peeled out wide right to make a run instead. And it's on the edge of the 18-yard box here with Lewis Dunk. Ball forward to the halfway line, can't find Ferguson, picked up by right back Rotter. Forward to Amrabat. Out to the left here now to Mantalos. Just goes behind Gacinovic on the left, but he keeps it alive and in play for AEK Athens as they have it on the halfway line here with Makudu. Now Vida out to the right to Rotter. Ball inside, cut out by Gilmore. Can't find Zuba. Gilmore gets it forward to Matoma. Drives on the inside here. He's got a run on the outside of Gilmore and he'll feed it back to the Scotsman, whose touch is heavy and it allows the tackle from Vida, who will eventually poke it out for a throw-in for Brighton in the final third. Hinshelwood with a throw towards João Pedro, who's been fouled from behind, has he? João Pedro is holding his lower back. He seems to be in a lot of discomfort. Vida was the one who went through him, and I think the free kick has been given for Brighton. On the left, outside the 18-yard area. And João Pedro seems to be in a lot of pain holding his lower back. To get a replay on it, half an hour to go, still 1-0. Vida with the elbow on Ferguson. And a knee in the lower back of João Pedro. It's naughty, that, from Domagoj Vida, and he knows what he's doing. I don't like that. Just because you're losing, you don't need to be aggressive like that. That's poor. You know, thankfully Ferguson was okay and he's come back on. But that knee in the lower back, he means it. I'm sure of it. And he's got that look on his face. And Brighton have already got enough injury issues as it is with first team players out. Just look at the names on the bench. I bet you don't know half of them. Because they're all under 21s. Sorry, I'm getting a bit aggressive there. But it's just no need. They've already got injury issues. And that challenge is not needed at all. With the aggression. And hopefully João Pedro will be okay to continue. Thanks to everyone who is here. If you could like and subscribe and stay for the entire game, that will be a real help for the channel as we try and grow this, and I can do it as much as possible. So as João Pedro's back to his feet, he's hobbling slightly. There's a thumbs up to the bench, so hopefully he'll be able to continue the current match winner. As Brighton do have a free kick here on the left-hand side from the foul from Vida. It'll be a right-footed in-swinger from Pascal Gross. In it goes, near post. It's headed away by AEK Athens, but there's a foul there as Dunk pushes over an AEK Athens man. Free kick for the home side. Taken quickly, it's now Domagoj Vida. It's to Szymanski, who gave away the penalty. 10 minutes into the second half, the Polish captain for AEK Athens, who are currently 2 losses in a row in the Europa League, home and away to Marseille, 3-1 and 2-0, and they're losing again. They haven't won any of their last 14 home games in the Europa League. AEK Athens. Looks like it's going to be a 15th game without a win. As their goalkeeper Stankovic clears it down the right side. Amrabat can't win the header. It's Hinshelwood to head it forward. Back forward by Rotter. A header one again by Gilmore as he goes over holding his face. Steven Zuber is booked and he's not happy with it. He doesn't believe there was any contact. Steven Zuber is frustrated. Let's have a look. Goes up. Yeah, it's just no. Billy Gilmore is holding his face. And the arm from Zuba's gone into his chest. He's won that. That's really bad, that, from Billy Gilmore. Because Zuba's been booked. It's not a booking. It might be a foul. He's gone a bit hard into his chest. But he's holding his face to win in the booking. I don't like that. Here's a free kick for Brighton. Steven Zuba booked. Should have been carded for that knee. He definitely should have been carded for the elbow. I don't know if he was. He carded for the elbow. The foul wasn't given on the elbow. Evan Ferguson, down the left, in the box. been forced to go backwards here. He's got his back to goal currently. Plays into João Pedro in the corner of the box on the left-hand side. Back into the path of Ferguson towards the byline. Works a crossing, left-footed, header away to the edge of the box where it'll drop to Steven Zuber, who tries to get it into the path of Mantalos. But eventually Gilmour clears it back towards his own goal as there's an off-the-ball incident as there's a foul. Veltman on Zuber. Yeah, the first challenge from Domagoj Vida, the elbow, wasn't even given as a foul. And then that knee in the back's not been given as a yellow. Lucky boy. Seriously. Really poor officiating from the Swiss referee. As the free kick was played over the top by Brighton, looking for Hinshelwood in the 18-yard box, but the keeper got there first. It's now with Vida. 25 minutes to go. Pulse added on time here for Brighton to qualify for the knockout stages of the Europa League. Szymanski's just peeled out to the right-hand side of the midfield and clips it down the line. Brought down with the chest of Rotter from right back. Lays it off into Amrabat. Sees a switch out to the left. It's gone over Veltman. It's a great ball. Brought down here. Gacinovic tries to cut inside but shows too much of the ball there. And he's going to be yellow carded. And he's going to be sent off. Oh, what a nightmare for AEK Athens. Gacinovic on the left-hand side. Tried to drive inside, but his touch was too heavy. And as he tried to make up for his heavy touch by trying to poke the ball back for AEK Athens, he stood on the top of the foot of Veltman. Oh, it probably is a second yellow, but it's not on purpose. He overhits the touch, tries to get onto the ball, but Veltman gets there first. He pokes it away, and then he trods on his right foot there. And it's his second bookable offence. It's not... He's more disappointed. Gacinovic, there's no complaints as he walks off. And in 14 games, no competition so far this season, Gacinovic has been booked 7 times. This is his first red card of the season. This is his first red card for the club in his 50th appearance for the team. And, it's so unlucky. He's just overhit the touch and he's tried to make up for it. And as he tries to play the ball, Veltman got there first and he stamps on his foot. And Brighton are 1-0 up. They are a man up as well. And it looks like it's going to be qualification to the knockout stages. As it looks like it's going to be a big mountain to climb now for AEK Athens with 10 men. And as we see in the chat, and it's rightly said, that is karma. Because Domagoj Vida's got away with 2 nasty challenges without a booking. And this time it is Mijat Gacinovic with the red card. First for the club in his 50th appearance. Gilmour down the left channel. João Pedro will get there in the 18-yard box on the byline. He's been followed here by Vida. Releases it back towards the edge of the box, but it's a heavy ball towards Mitoma, but he'll be picked up by Igor midway inside the opposition half. Gross out to the right to Veltman. Furthest right is Adingra. Feeds it to the Ivorian. Back into Veltman on halfway. And Brighton should be able now to get onto this game. As Veltman is still struggling with that foul from Gacinovic. As João Pedro drives towards the left-hand side. He's been followed here by Szymanski. And the last touch comes off the Polish international, throwing on the near side for Brighton. Like I said, the first 65 minutes of the game has been dominated from the home side. 15 shots, 5 on target, 60% possession. But with a man less, I think the tables will turn now. And I think Brighton will have the majority of the possession. And they will try and see this game out now to qualify for the knockout stages of the Europa League. Throw and taken to Gilmour, back to Hinshelwood in the left wing position. Ball inside to Mitoma. Touch is poor, cut out by Vida. But the touch from Vida falls back to João Pedro. And it's possession back for Brighton in the Athens half. Dunk forward to Evan Ferguson. Back to goal. He's got Gilmour close to him, but he's able to play it to the left to João Pedro. Completes the 1-2. Ferguson trying to play back to João Pedro again, who loses out, and in the end, AEK Athens tries to play it forward, but a tackle from Evan Ferguson, out to the right to Adingra, heavy touch, he's allowed to pull it back though, but it's cut out at the near post, and it'll be cleared here by AEK Athens' Makudi, as they lose it to João Pedro. Billy Gilmour with the Di Canio type shot in the box, goes over the crossbar. Goal kick for the home side. Apologies for the noise. I'll just be back in a minute. I'm back. And there will be a change here, as I think this will be a part of Brighton trying to see the game out. He also missed the last game through injury. So Kaoru Matoma has been replaced by Mahmoud Dahoud, who signed on a free from Borussia Dortmund in the summer. Was red carded recently against Sheffield United in the Premier League where they drew 1-1. As it's with Bright back for AEK Athens, and it's Rotter been forced to go all the way back here to their own goalkeeper Stankovic. Szymanski. Forward and out to the right to Amrabat, still inside the AEK Athens half. He's going to try and look to play it forward. He goes out to the right to Rotter on halfway at right back. Not got many options ahead of him. Brighton are cutting down all the lanes possible, not letting AEK Athens play through them. And it's now Szymanski on halfway. He's been brought down from behind by Evan Ferguson. Be a free kick for the home side, taken quickly, switched out to the left here. Brought down by Hadzafi, the left back. 1-on-1 with Veltman. Plays it inside. Zuba. Being closed down here by Adingra. Been forced to go back here. And ball inside to Mantalos. Backwards to Makudi. Out to the left again to Hadzafi. Down the line. Look for Amrabat. He switched wings here from the right to the left. Amrabat, 1-on-1 with Gross. On his right foot. Ball in. Cut out the near post by Dunk. And cleared eventually by the Brighton captain. Up towards halfway. And it passes halfway. And AEK Athens can start again from the back. 20 minutes to go. Plus added on time. They're down to 10 men. AEK Athens. And they are a goal down through a João Pedro penalty in the 55th minute. Vida into the midfield. It's a sloppy pass cut out by Gross. Can't quite find Dahoud. Cleared forward by AEK Athens. And it's brought down by Mantalos. Out to the left here to Amrabat. 1-on-1 with Veltman in the final third. Plays it forward to Zuba. He's peeled out wide left as well. Zuba. 1-on-1 with Veltman. On his right foot. Dinks it into Amrabat. Gets the return. Zuba to Amrabat again. Who tries to shoot. But it's blocked by Gross. It'll drop out to Pineda, the Mexican midfielder. And it's back on halfway now with Makudi. For AEK Athens, out to the right here to Vida. Furthest right is Rotter. 1-on-1 here with João Pedro, who's doing a bit of work here at left back. And back it goes to Vida on halfway. Across into the centre circle to Makudi. Left back Hadzafi on the ball. Forward to Mantalos. Turns away from Pascal Gross. And a heavy touch means that Gilmour can win the ball back. But Pascal Gross was pulling Mantalos there. And it'll be a free kick for the home side. Sorry, just sorting out tea there. How unprofessional. It's just so it's closer to being done when I finish, because it's taken 45 minutes to make. So, while I'm making me tea, we're getting some changes for AEK Athens. They've still got that free kick, which is given away by Pascal Gross. First change will be Ezekiel Ponce, the striker, will come on. Nordin Amrabat is off. Another player coming on is Nicholas Eliasson, Swedish winger. He's replaced Steven Zuba, who was playing up front. So, like-for-like changes. Winger off, winger on, striker off, striker on. And the ball will be put in the box here from the free kick. It's a touch forward by Makudi. And he tries to chase down his own touch, but he's been met there by the collection from Bart Verbruggen. Good goalkeeping there as he's looking for a second clean sheet of the season. His first clean sheet of the season came away at Ajax. He's looking for another one tonight. Edge of the 18-yard box with Dunk. It's now out to left centre half. Igor, midway inside his own half, drives forward really well beyond the halfway line, playing it through to Evan Ferguson. 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper in the box, takes it around the goalkeeper. It's well saved though by Stankovic. Really good goalkeeping. Ferguson tried to go on the left-hand side, but the goalkeeper was equal to it. Still alive here though for Brighton on the left-hand side with João Pedro. Back into the midfield with Gilmour. Down the left. What a ball that is. Hinshelwood in the box. Across it goes towards Ferguson. Misses him. Adingra shoots towards the near post. Hits the side netting. And they can't quite double their lead, Brighton. But that's a great bit of centre-back play from Igor. From his own half. He drives forward. Past the halfway line. Plays a defence-splitting pass into Evan Ferguson. Who drives into the box. Tries to go around the goalkeeper. Who goes to down low to his right. Pushes the ball away. Wins the ball very cleanly. and fairly, and stops Evan Ferguson from getting his first ever goal in Europe. It's his first start in Europe as well tonight, Evan Ferguson. His other 3 appearances in the competition came off the bench. Stankovic, the goalkeeper, clears it forward for AEK Athens. Header won by Igor, but it's picked up here by number 11 for AEK Athens, and I believe that's Araujo. Ball into Pineda. Ball across! And it just avoids Ponce at the far post. And what a chance that is for AEK Athens to equalise. They've got to score. Yeah, another change made. Sergio Araujo has come on as well for AEK Athens. And Pineda with the ball across. And God, that is so close. Really close. And it does show that AEK Athens can still create the chances despite being a man down. So the substitutes for AEK Athens, they made 3. So Amrabat, Mantalos and Zuba came off for Eliasson, Araujo and Ponce. So 3 changes. Gilmour gives it away and it deflects back to Igor. Very lucky there because it could have deflected to Szymanski. It's back with Igor at left centre half in a left back area. Down the line it goes. Finds Pascal Gross on halfway. All 3 on his own as well. Really good pass again from Igor. Second time he's done that in a couple of minutes. Pascal Gross feeds it out to the left-hand side. Edge of the box is João Pedro. He enters the box onto his right foot. Shoots and it deflects back to the edge of the box. And it can be brought down here for AEK Athens. With Rota, the right back. Been forced back towards his own goal here from press from Dahoud. Oh, it's gone back to the goalkeeper Stankovic. Vida was tackled. Stankovic collects. Rolls it out quickly. Eliasson. Oh, poor touch there. Gives it away to Adingra. He goes back to right back Veltman on halfway. And it's Brighton in possession once again. Veltman at right back forward and down the line to Gross on halfway. Forward once more to Adingra. I've got many options, so he's been forced to go backwards here to Joel Veltman. He goes across to Lewis Dunk. Forward by Igor to Dahoud. The German midfielder off the bench tonight. Plays a simple 10-yard pass to his right to Gilmour, who's looking out to the Brighton left. He goes backwards to João Pedro, who's gone to halfway just to keep the ball moving for Brighton as he goes all the way back to goalkeeper for Verbruggen. Clips out to the right towards Veltman. Can't bring it down, but it will drop through to Adingra, who's been tackled there by Hadzafi. And the last touch came off Adingra and it's been taken quickly from the AEK Athens left back. And he gets it down the left-hand side. Arms are up for offside, and that's what's been given. His run was too early there from Hadzafi. It was a well-kept line there from Brighton because Duncan and Igor had their hands up straight away asking for the flag. "14 minutes to go, plus added on time. We're going to get another Brighton change. And again, they're going to shore up that midfield even further. João Pedro, the current winner of the game from the spot, 55th minute. He scored the penalty, which he'd won after being tackled from behind in the box by Szymanski for AEK Athens. He'll be replaced by the very experienced 37-year-old James Milner, who was injured, came off injured in their away game against Ajax. He's missed the last 2 games in the Premier League, but he's back tonight to see this game out. Milner will go into left back. Hinshelwood will go into midfield. Gilmour received the ball after a touch from Ferguson, but Ferguson caught Vida late on halfway. And that'll be a free kick there for the home side, as they still believe they can get something from this game. Free kick in the centre circle, and they'll send the players forward here. So they're going to try and lift this into the box if possible, despite Brighton setting up a line just 10 yards in front of the 18-yard box here. So they're going to defend high. Thanks to everyone who has liked and subscribed. As they put a ball in towards the right side of the box where Vida loses out to Veltman. To Milner, sorry. But the ball drops out here to Eliasson on the left-hand side. On his left foot, cross towards the far post. It's well caught by Verbruggen, who will just calm the play down and will keep this ball in his hands. Eliasson, quick feet to get it onto his stronger left foot on the right-hand side, but the cross didn't quite match the quality of the dribbling. As Verbruggen plays it forward with a pass to Gilmour, midway side his own half. He lays it off to Dahoud and gets the return. Gilmour forward to Hinshelwood, touches poor, and he loses out to the AEK Athens right back Rota. It's now Vida. Furthest right is Eliasson. Goes inside here. Tries to get the return from Ponce, but he loses out for a strong challenge from Igor. As Gilmour's ball inside has been pickpocketed there by Eliasson, but again, he shows too much of the ball there to Hinshelwood. And it'll be Brighton in possession in their own half again with Dunk to left centre half Igor. High ball into the AEK Athens half, over the top. Ferguson decided to give chase first time, but then as it ran away from him, he just gave it up and allowed the ball to run through for AEK Athens to their goalkeeper Stankovic. If you are not subscribed, please do. We are 5 away from 1,100, which would be a nice little landmark to hit. So if you can make that happen, that'd be absolutely fantastic. So we've got just 11.5 minutes of the 90 to play. Lifted ball out from Stankovic towards the AEK Athens right, goes over Eliasson's head and Milner's for a throw-in on halfway on this near side for the away side. Taken by Milner and gets the return here from Gilmore as Milner just about able to shift it backwards to the goalkeeper Verbruggen. Quickly clips out to the right. Poor ball, can't find Adingra. Cut out by Hadzafi. Ball inside. Cut out by Gross. Forward to Dahoud, whose pass is intercepted by Szymanski. He goes inside nicely. Chance here for AEK Athens. Dribbling inside is Araujo. Gets beyond one Brighton man but can't get away from Dunk in the 18-yard area. Well tackled from the captain. And it's now with Adingra. Ball inside, cut out by Ponce. It's now out to the left here to Szymanski in the final third. 1-on-1 with Veltman. Been forced to go backwards though in the end to Hadzafi. It's now Maduki. Switch out to the right. Good ball well chested down by Eliasson. 1-on-1 with Milner. Wants to get onto his left foot if he wants to. He gets in the box, left-footed. Ball across the box, but it's a misplaced pass straight into Adingra, who can hold the ball up here for Brighton as he gets pulled down there by Hadzafi. A well-won free kick as Brighton have more time just to breathe and to take off the pressure for the moment. Ball taken quickly up towards Evan Ferguson. Can't quite keep it stick. Can't make it stick in the AEK Athens half, and it's won back from the Greek defence. Double champions last season, AEK Athens. Won the cup and the league title. Makudi. Ball forward on halfway. Cut out by Igor. Hinshelwood forward to Ferguson. Gets the return. Lays it off to his right to Gilmore. Midway inside the opposition half. Gilmore driving out towards the right-hand side. Playing it to Adingra on the far side. So back with Veltman. Goes into his own half here with a pass to number 5, Lewis Dunk, who's made 2 appearances this year for England in friendlies against Scotland and Australia. Gilmore back into Dunk, midway inside his own half. Gross finds Gilmore in midfield. To left centre-back Igor. Pokes it out to the left to Milner. First time ball around the corner. It's one that Ferguson will give chase to. Goalkeeper comes to the edge of the box to head it away. And it will drop in the end to the right-back Rotter. Good goalkeeping in the end as Rotter just ran out of pitch there on the AEK Athens right-hand side. And the throw has been taken quickly by Hinshelwood into Dahoud, who gets the return to Hinshelwood. Ferguson inside now to Gilmore. Forward to Dahoud, 25 yards from goal. Plays it backwards and out to the right to Dunk, who's travelled forward into the AEK Athens half. Furthest right is Adingra. Receives the ball. Plays the ball inside now to Gross. Back out wide right to Veltman. Back down the line to Adingra, who pulls it across. Evan Ferguson at the far post. Nearly got there. Cleared for AEK Athens, but won back by Veltman. Adingra again. Can he pull it back? He's on the byline. Pulls it across. Looking for Hinshelwood on the penalty spot. But it's cut out there by AEK Athens, number 28, Ehsan Hadzafi. And it'll be a corner kick on the far side for Brighton. So close to doubling their lead and pretty much guaranteeing the 3 points. It's a good ball across the first time by Adingra. Just couldn't quite find Evan Ferguson at the far post. But it remains 1-0 with 8 minutes to go plus added on time. Thank you to everyone who is liking and subscribing. It is very much appreciated. As we get another AEK Athens change. Number 70, Rodolfo Pizarro, comes on for Orbelin Pineda, the Mexican midfielder, who had a great first half, but very quiet in the second half. AEK Athens number 13, and he will be replaced now by Rodolfo Pizarro, who joined on a free in the summer from Inter Miami. Yet to score for his new club, the Mexican. The ball goes in near post, it avoids a lot of players and eventually bounces off Lewis Dunk, who doesn't know much about it, and it goes straight out for a goal kick. A good ball at the near post by Pascal Gross. Who did it miss there for Brighton? Missed the likes of Ferguson and Milner, and it kind of just bounced off Dunk because he didn't really know much about it. He didn't think it was going to reach him, and bounced off him it did, and out for a goal kick. Playing out from the back with Vida. To the right back, Rotter. Down the line it goes. It's a high ball over the top where it'll be Igor to deal with it nicely for Brighton. Good slide challenge away. Good clearance towards the halfway line. There'll be an Ake Athens throw-in on this near side, just in front of their technical area, in front of head coach Mateus Almeida, the 49-year-old Argentine head coach, who retired from play back in 2011, 2 years before Roberto De Zerbi hung up his boots. He's trying to switch out to the left-hand side, cut out by the head of Veltman, but straight through for a throw-in for Ake Athens, taken quickly towards Pizarro in the box, where it's had to again be cut out by Veltman, and he kicks out for a corner. Quick throw-in, looking for Pizarro. Didn't quite reach the Mexican midfielder, and it's a corner on the far side for the home side. It'll be taken by the left back, Hadzafi. Puts it in to the box. Great ball, well won by Maduki, but straight through it goes for a goal kick. Came off the Cameroons to head last. Makudi. I can't. I just need something to eat. My head's going crazy. Yeah, Harold Makudi headed it wide of the post for a goal kick, which has been taken with right centre half dunk forward to Pascal Gross. Out wide right into Veltman. First pass intercepted, but he will chase it down and he will get there ahead of Pizarro, and he'll see it out for a throw-in in the right back area for Brighton there, Joe Veltman. He'll take his time taking it as well, the former Ajax fullback. Throws it down the line towards Dahoud. It comes only as far as Makudi, who plays out to the right to Rotter. Ball stuck under his foot and it runs away from him, and Hinshelwood can take it over. 4v3, plays through to the gap of Ferguson, and that's such a poor pass. Touch wasn't great either, and eventually could be cleared by the goalkeeper. But 4-on-3, they've got to make that count there, Brighton. But they can't, and with 5 minutes to go, they remain 1-0 up. It's down the line for Ake Athens here. Into the Brighton half they go, with the ball down the line to Pizarro. Runs into traffic, tackle by Veltman. Throw in for Ake Athens just inside the Brighton half on the far side as they throw it back into their own half here. With Hadzafi, the left back. It's now out to the right to Rotter, who got away with that error. Miscontrolling the ball. Down the line to Elyson. Back to Rotter, inside his own half here at right back. He's been forced back to his goalkeeper, Stankovic. You can tell they're a man less. That's one option less is just causing them a few issues here, Ake Athens. Just with their centre-half, Makudi. Back to the goalkeeper, Stankovic. Clears it down the left-hand side. It's not a great clearance, but it can be chested down there by Ponce for Ake Athens, and it's now out to the right-hand side. Good ball into the channel. He'll find Elyson, who's going to be met here by Hinshelwood, but he'll dart forward and get the cross in. It's nearly met by the volley. Drops as it deflects and eventually cleared by Veltman. Kept alive by Szymanski. It's now in the midfield here for Ake Athens, as again they curl it out to the right to Elyson. 1-on-1 with Hinshelwood. Onto his left foot. Plays it backwards to Vida, who will clip it into the far post. Headed on towards Szymanski there by Araujo. But out it goes for a goal kick. Couldn't quite find a man in yellow and black. I think we're going to get a change here. Not quite sure who for as of yet. I think it'll be Brighton, who, and on his European debut, Jack Hinshelwood has had a fantastic European debut at left back, and then going into midfield for the latter stages of the game. So Josh Hinshelwood. Oh no, he won't. He'll be getting some instructions. Teasing me there, Roberto De Zerbi. Hinshelwood will stay on. Gilmore will come off for Carlos Baleba, the Brighton number 20. And Josh Duffus has also come on as well. Not quite sure who he replaced. I'll find out in a second. It's Evan Ferguson. So Josh Duffus will go up front for his debut for Brighton. What a moment for him. Josh Duffus, 18 years of age. They've got some defending to do. Elyson tries the cross, blocked by Milner. Corner on this near side for the home team. What a moment for Josh Duffus, making his senior debut for Brighton. Joined in 2017. Been in swing. Oh, Elyson Eliasson was about to take the corner, but the ref told him just to hold it for a second as there was some pushing and shoving in the 18-yard area. 2 minutes to go. This would be heartbreak for Brighton if there was to be an equaliser. In it goes. Header won there by Baleba. It'll be chased down by AEK Athens, and Hadjafi will get there first ahead of Adingra. Lack of experience from the young players are showing. Yeah, there's Eliasson right on the corner flag, just about keeps it in. Tries to play it to Szymanski, but Hinshelwood will get there first. Now Baleba on the edge of the 18-yard box. Down the line it goes. Finds Dahoud, poor touch. He can be dispossessed here by AEK Athens. Number 12, Rota, the right back. And now they have it on halfway with Makudi. Not got many options. Plays it out to the right again to Eliasson, who's been a threat ever since coming on. He puts an early switch out to the left-hand side. Good ball, chested down. Chance here for the Greek side. As the low ball goes into the 18-yard box, sliced away by Gross, volleyed away by Dahoud. And they'll be recollected here for AEK Athens with their captain Szymanski. Eliasson, right-hand side, crosses. Header, Vida on the penalty spot, heads wide. Drops to his knees as the Croatian centre-half is disappointed. Not quite sure why Amrabat started ahead of Nicholas Eliasson. He's been fantastic, the Swedish winger, since coming on. A real threat down the right-hand side. Getting those crosses in. As Verbruggen for Brighton clears up the field. Headed away by Vida. Deep in the Brighton half, but it's been picked up here by Baleba, who charges down the left-hand side, gets beyond the challenge of Rota, chases the ball down and plays it into the path of Josh Duffus, who's in behind. I think the flag will go up, but in the box, he will put it wide of the goal. We're aiming for the top right corner, wildly wide, but the flag had gone up as Baleba played the ball to Duffus, but the run was poor. The run was too soon. And 5 minutes of added on time for Brighton to see this game through and get them into the Europa League group stages. You know what? That's actually tighter than I thought. I don't know if he's offside there. If he'd put that in the back of the net, that could have stood, but unfortunately he went for the top right corner and wide it went. As they hoof it forward here through Szymanski. Over the top, looking for Eliasson, but it will run right through to the goalkeeper for Bruggen. And Brighton stay ahead with 4.5 minutes to go. If you are new, make sure you like and subscribe. Commentaries at the weekend. Nottingham Forest against Everton on the Saturday at 5:30. And a commentary at 4:30 on Sunday. Manchester City take on Spurs. And then 4 more next week coming to the channel as well. As Dunk's clearance down the right side comes off Sergio Araujo. And it will be a throw-in for Brighton right on the corner flag on the far side. They've got to get this ball away from their goal if possible. Joel Veltman's over near the corner flag with the throw-in. He'll aim it towards Adingra. It'll go over his head and headed backwards by Hadjafi. And it'll be chased down here by Makudi, who will get there ahead of Dahoud. And we'll go back to his goalkeeper, Stankovic. He's looking to go long. He'll play it down the left-hand side. Can there be a flick on here? Dunk wins the header. Very strong. Out to the left, though, by Szymanski into Pizarro. Right on the corner flag on the far side. Veltman is there on his back. He's forcing him backwards, but Pizarro works the space for a cross. It's a great cross. It's a searching one. It's a header won by Milner, who I think stays down. Ball at the edge of the box, though, where the pass is poor. Picked up by Baleba, who is tackled fairly by Makudi. But his touch goes out, and now it's played out to the right side to Adingra. Chance to get a second and kill the game. Adingra, Duffus is out to the left. He tries to find him. He does find him in the box. Can he get a goal on his debut? Duffus who shoots. His shot is blocked by Rota. And it will be a corner kick with 3 minutes to play. Would have been a nice moment there for Duffus to get the ball. His first touch wasn't great. It was stuck in his feet, and once he got it out of his feet, he tried the shot, but it was blocked by the AEK Athens right back. On this near side, the corner will be taken. Milner's there. Dahoud's over it. Hinshelwood's coming over to support as well. 2.5 minutes away from qualification to the knockout stages for Brighton. Corner played short to Milner towards the byline. Right on the corner flag. He's trying to shield the ball, but the pass has gone out of play. And it's Dahoud with... they think it's come off an AEK Athens man last. I don't think it did. I think that should be a home throw-in, but it's gone for the away side instead. And Roberto De Zerbi will not be complaining. And it is his first Europa League campaign as well as a manager. De Zerbi had won as the Champions League head coach at Shakhtar Donetsk a couple of seasons ago. as in the corner. Milner commits the foul in the corner flag. Free kick taken quickly here by Rotter. Slam forward towards the halfway line where it can be flicked on and brought out, and it's nearly took over there by Ponce, but it is Pizarro to have it for AEK Athens. Out to the left it goes to Alisson. Chance here, one-on-one with Veltman, edge of the box, cuts onto his right foot, tries to go for the cross for some reason. He should have gone for the shot, but it was blocked, and it's now played out to the right to Adingra. Gets beyond one challenge, but his touch is too heavy. It can be won back for AEK Athens. It's on the halfway line now with Hadzafi. Forward to Pizarro, midway side his own half on the far side. Feeds it out to the left-hand side. Cross goes in for AEK Athens. In the box, it's a challenging one, but well collected by Verbruggen, the goalkeeper, who came early and made sure he got there. And got there he did. It was a fantastic piece of goalkeeping to really ease the pressure from the Brighton defence. And minute to go for Brighton in their first ever European campaign to get to the knockout stages. Verbruggen kicks it long up towards Duffus. Header won by Makudi. As far as Beleba, poor header from him, and eventually played forward by AEK Athens on Alisson, and he's been pulled down there by James Milner. And just in front of the halfway line, it will be a AEK Athens free kick. A point would put them 3 behind Brighton with a game to go, and they'd have a positive head-to-head record on Brighton if it is a draw. But on the goal difference, it is very much in the favour of Brighton. AEK Athens on -4, Brighton on +4. Ball goes in from the free kick. Header away by Dunk, only out to the AEK Athens left, where it will be picked up by Szymanski. One-on-one with Adingra. Trying to get space for a cross on the corner flag. It's a low one, and it's picked up on the edge of the box by Duffus, who's been collided into from behind, where a free kick will be taken. We have played the 5 minutes of added on time, and it looks like Brighton have got their qualification secured. We've hit the 5th minute of added on time. Free kick on the edge of the 18-yard box for Brighton. And they're moments away from qualifying for the knockout stages. They go top, ahead of Marseille by 2 points, who have got to play later tonight. And it'll be Verbruggen to take this free kick. Down the Brighton right-hand side. Launched down the channel, and the referee blows the whistle, and Brighton players can celebrate as they have qualified for the knockout stages of the Europa League. There'll be no knockout football in this competition for AEK Athens after some heroic attempts tonight. They were the better team for the majority, but Brighton nick a 1-0 win away from home from the penalty spot. 10 minutes into the second half, João Pedro won the penalty, driving into the box from the left-hand side, brought down from behind, a tangle of legs with Szymanski. And from 12 yards, he converted the penalty into the bottom right corner. Goalkeeper went the wrong way. But the Greek double winners from last season crash out in the group stages of the Europa League. After beating them at the Amex 3-2, AEK Athens, they have won a game since. They lost back-to-back to Marseille, and they've lost again today against Brighton. 3 losses in a row for AEK Athens in the Europa League. And unfortunately, they will not be able to qualify into the knockout stages. AEK Athens and Ajax are both out in the group. Group B is Marseille and Brighton, who are going to go through. It will go down to the last game of who will top the group. I don't think either will mind as long as they're through into the knockouts. But what a win that is for Brighton. They weren't great. They weren't amazing. But to go away from home in Europe, to go and beat AEK Athens with a penalty, to get the job done, get what they went for, qualification, they've done it. And that is a superb 3 points. Great commentary, mate. Thank you very much. If you have enjoyed this commentary, make sure you like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. We're trying to grow it as much as possible this year. Make sure you share it to friends. Make sure they subscribe as well. And make sure you're here for the weekend's commentaries where Everton travel to Nottingham Forest and Spurs travel to Manchester City on Saturday and Sunday. Brighton were poor. They were poor. They were very poor. But AEK Athens just couldn't get the ball in the back of the net. And, you know, Brighton won the penalty. They converted it and they've won the game. You know, they weren't great, but they've done enough to win and qualify. But we have enjoyed. If you have enjoyed this live commentary of AEK Athens against Brighton, make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. And tonight, Brighton, in their first ever European campaign, have qualified from the group stages. They will go through with Marseille, leaving AEK Athens and Ajax out of this competition for this season. And even though they were poor, it's not the Brighton we know, but it's the Brighton that will be into the Europa League knockout stages. They end their away games in the group stages with a win. And tonight, in Greece, in Athens, it ends AEK Athens 0, Brighton 1, and they're through to the Europa League knockout stages.